Hey, Coach Stacy Lynn here. Today I have a question I'm going to answer. This is from Reddit. All right. This is an interesting question. That's why I thought I'd bring it up. The question is, it's in the Ask Old People Advice category, so I guess I would qualify there. Eh, funny. I'm so old. Okay, anyway. Uh, it's titled, I'm unhappy in my marriage. Are my expectations to blame? What do you think? Oh, you can see me there. Interesting. There's 3 of me. What do you think? Do you think your expectations are the blame? Yeah. I don't even have to read this whole diatribe here to know that, but let's see what this kid has to see what they're upset about. Okay, they say here, my husband and I began dating 6 years ago, have been married for a little over 2 years, and had a baby 6 months ago. Okay, so they got pregnant pretty quick. We have always had a tumultuous relationship, but both put work into staying together. At this point, it feels like we are practically living separate lives. Welcome to marriage. Sorry. I mean, that is a big part of marriage. You live separate lives. It's part of it. It really is. So we have become increasingly divergent. That's how I know this is a young person. In our values. I want to spend time cultivating a community, being outdoors, exploring new places, and learning new skills. He adores a weekend without plans, while I tend to pack my schedule with as many activities as I can. He has told me from the beginning he is a homebody who likes to keep his family and friends at a distance, seeing them as infrequently as necessary. I wonder why. Maybe he has attachment issues. Maybe, he doesn't like them. Who knows? I don't know why I thought that would change, but that's on me. See, so that's, at least they're owning that. She's owning this. Okay, so that's good. But this is the type of thing, red flag, you should watch for. And I'm trying to tilt my glass so it's not glaring. This is the thing, if you're going to get married and they already tell you, people tell you who they are. Just so you know, that's a good piece of advice to remember. They not only tell you, but they show you who they are. This guy told her that. So she goes on to say, and my neck is very sore, so I'm trying to stretch it. She says, I have long yearned for him to be more affectionate and wish he had more shared interests. I fear we are drifting apart and that we don't have anything left in common besides our daughter. Well, that's ridiculous. You always have something in common besides your kid. He won't admit it, but he doesn't seem to enjoy spending time with me, seems annoyed by my constantly and often opts to play video games in the basement or watch football even when the baby is asleep and we have the opportunity to do something together. Okay, well, that's interesting. So she thinks he doesn't enjoy spending time with her. That's mind reading. I would ask her, how do you know? I mean, she's telling it. She's saying this is the reason. But he could be doing the video game things and it doesn't have anything to do with her. Video games, especially within the youth, is extremely popular. And she already knew this going into the relationship with him before she married him because he did it then. Often these types do. So she says, when I have expressed these concerns, he takes offense. Of course he does. She's accusing him. When I share my feelings with him, he tends to feel attacked and gets defensive, and I often feel dismissed or blamed. Okay. That you can go to therapy for or get coaching for. He seems to be totally uninterested in seeing my perspective or understanding me at this point. I don't know that that's the case. She's mind reading. She's not really communicating with him. And, her overexpectancy is very obvious there. She says, I've stayed in the relationship because I love him. That's a good reason to stay into the relationship. Plus, he's the father of your baby. Just saying. My husband is a great father and a good man with integrity who makes me laugh. He is attractive, intelligent, and honest. He goes to couples counseling with me because I asked him to, and generally puts effort into trying to make me happy. that says a lot, because you know how many men won't go to counseling. So at the end of the day, isn't this all we can ask of our partners? He is not unhappy in our relationship, but I am. And I wonder if I'm the problem. Are my expectations too high? Am I overly sensitive and critical? The answer is yes and yes. Or if we could be happier with other people. You may be, but the problem, see, this is where her mind is going. Her mind is going to, she's wondering if the grass is greener somewhere else. You know what? It might look like it, but there could be moles under the ground. Just saying. I mean, if you live in my area, everybody's yard has moles in it. It might look good on the top, but underneath, no. And then she says, I am an only child. Well, that's a big part of her problem right there, because she's an only child. Only children, and no offense if you're an only child, but this is a fact. Only children are young adults. They're always parentified. They are firstborns. They are usually spoiled. And so when they get into a marriage, they often have difficulty because they marry somebody who isn't an only child. And I'd be curious if her husband is a baby. That'd be interesting. And she says the product of divorce. I understand that one. I'd always hoped for a different outcome for my daughter. Would you stay knowing there may be someone out there you could be more compatible with, to prioritize stability for your child and to work on the marriage, hoping things may change? I'd love to have more children and have always wanted a big family, and I'm not confident I could have that if I ended this marriage. Of course not. And here's what I would tell her. I would say, if you ended this marriage, you're going to go into another marriage and you're going to have the same issue. So what this single person, or not single, but this young woman is experiencing is she's having to learn that it's not all about her. Yeah. Her husband provides for her. He loves her. He's actually in counseling with her. She asks if she's the problem. The answer is yeah, she's the problem. And he may have issues, but she's the one who's wandering and wanting and thinking, oh, I wonder if it's going to be better on the other side. You know what? Research shows or suggests that if you get married and then you get divorced, the likelihood of you getting divorced in your second marriage goes up exponentially. And I just heard my dog bark. My husband's going to help him get off the bed. So I'm going to have to end this. But here's the thing. If this was you and you came to me and I was going to coach you, I would give you the equipping profile. The equipping profile would measure overexpectancy, contrary, self-doubt, self-defeat, and compassion levels, and a whole bunch of other stuff, like 10 different things. What I know reading her thing is that she is high in communication, so she can communicate. She's very overexpectant. She needs to decrease that big time. She's probably a little lower in compassion because she doesn't seem to have a lot of empathy towards her husband, but she actually does care about her kid, which is interesting. Now, and what I mean by care about her husband is she doesn't have the feelings of really appreciating him for who he is. Even though she says the good stuff, she's not focusing on it. She's focusing on ending this marriage. And then the self-defeat. Because then if she got a divorce, she would be totally like her parents. They got a divorce, and then she'd feel bad about herself. So she would have a lot of work to do because it's difficult. And here's the other thing. She has a 6-month-old baby. So there's probably a part of her that's like, oh no, I don't have my life like I used to, because that's what she was saying. I want to go out, I want to do these things, I want to do blah, blah, blah. But now she's a stay-at-home mom. It sounds like she's stuck with that baby who's tying her to everything. And she doesn't want to say it that way. Maybe she wants more help from the husband. That's possible. But but I don't know. What do you think? Tell me what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts. Either way, I hope that this kid continues to get some help, and I hope the therapist that's working with her is helping her to see that she needs to change her expectations and needs to focus on working on herself because she has a child to raise. And that girl needs a good, healthy mama, not a mama who is like, I'm going to leave when it's uncomfortable. So, hope you have a better day, because it can always be better.